So, Rell Bad actually responded. And I don't mean he dropped some vague one-liner in the Discord and disappeared. I mean he came back the very next day, went through everything, addressed the confusion, addressed the YouTubers, addressed the community, and took accountability for the miscommunication. Like for real. That's not something a lot of developers do. Most of them just go quiet and hope people move on. But before we get excited, because yeah, it is good that they responded, let's actually talk about what was said, because some of it is good news, some of it is genuinely great news, and some of it changes the entire picture. And if you've still been holding on to hope for a release anytime soon, you might want to hear this one out. If you watched yesterday's video, and if you haven't, then go watch it because this one connects directly to that, the Rell brothers dropped a bunch of information inside their new Dev Notes channel in the Discord. New sneaks, sea progression, crew systems, development updates, reasons behind delays, pretty much everything. There was a lot to unpack, and honestly, most people didn't exactly walk away feeling better after reading it. Rell Bad knew that too, which is probably why he came back almost immediately to clarify things. So let's go through what he actually said, because there's a lot more here than people realize. The very first thing he mentioned, and probably the biggest headline from all of this, is that they're looking into speeding up the process for Movie 3. According to him, Movie 3 is still planned for this summer and is going to focus heavily on gameplay systems, features, progression, and all the stuff people actually want to see. He compared it more to the style of Movie 1 and Movie 2, which is exactly what most people have been asking for. And on top of that, anything that doesn't make it into Movie 3 is apparently going to be posted through short-form content on their second channel more consistently moving forward. Now that's actually good news. More transparency is good, more gameplay is good, more updates are good. The second channel being active is something the community has wanted for a long time. But here's the thing. The reason people care about Movie 3 isn't just because they want new footage. It isn't because they want another cinematic trailer. The real reason people are waiting for Movie 3 is because Movie 3 has always been seen as the checkpoint, the moment where we finally get information regarding closed community testing. That's the thing people actually want. So yes, Movie 3 is great, but if Movie 3 comes out and there's still no real information regarding CC, people are definitely going to feel disappointed. That's just the reality. Keep that in mind because we'll come back to it. Now, the next thing he addressed was the whole 6C situation, and honestly, I think a lot of people misunderstood what was originally being said, myself included. When people heard that nearly 6 Cs existed, the immediate reaction was pretty much panic. Everyone started saying they're never releasing the game, they keep adding more content, they're expanding forever, and the game is stuck in development hell. But that's not exactly what he meant. The actual maps for those seas are mostly built. The land is there, the geography is there, the islands are there. What isn't fully completed is the content inside those areas. NPC placement, missions, bosses, story elements, progression systems, interactions, balancing, optimization, all of that still needs to be added and tested. And as simple as placing content sounds, it isn't actually simple. Every addition can create new issues. Animations need re-exporting, collision problems appear, performance issues happen, frame drops show up, systems interact with each other in unexpected ways. So when they talk about finishing a sea, they're not just talking about building land and calling it a day. They're talking about making sure the entire thing works. And Rell Bad openly admitted that the communication around this wasn't great. He literally said people can't read his mind, and he understands why the community got confused. Honestly, that's exactly what the Dev Notes channel should be for, clarifying things before assumptions start spreading everywhere. Now for the actual release structure. 3 Cs at launch. Confirmed. Not rumored, not assumed, confirmed. And according to them, the 4th C should already be partially prepared by then, meaning update content is already being worked on before release even happens. That's actually a pretty healthy position for a game to be in. But now we get to the part that honestly concerns me the most, because everything I've talked about so far depends on the developers. This next thing doesn't. Roblox recently pushed out platform changes that could affect games targeting wider audiences, and one of the concerns people have is accessibility requirements and how visibility works for different age groups and experiences. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of rumors, and a lot of confusion surrounding exactly what this means for games like Rell Seas. But here's why people are worried. The Rell brothers have always pushed the idea that Rell Seas should be accessible. They want it available to as many players as possible. They don't want excessive monetization. They don't want the game locked behind a bunch of purchases. They want people to jump in and play. That's been their vision from the start. So naturally, when Roblox introduces changes that could potentially affect visibility, accessibility, or player onboarding, people start asking questions. And unfortunately, those questions don't really have clear answers yet. The Rell brothers are reportedly communicating with Roblox and trying to understand how everything works moving forward. But communication, meetings, approvals, and platform-level discussions all take time, and time is something this game has already spent a lot of. So that's why I think it's important not to confuse Movie 3 progress with release progress. Movie 3 getting closer is great. Movie 3 getting released faster is great. But getting closer to a trailer and getting closer to actually playing the game are not necessarily the same thing. Those are two separate milestones. And look, none of this is me trying to be negative. The fact Rell Bad responded this quickly is honestly a positive sign. The fact they're communicating more is a positive sign. The fact they're clarifying things is a positive sign. But being passionate doesn't automatically remove outside obstacles, and that's where we're at right now. So for the moment, the next major checkpoint is Movie 3. That's what matters. That's what everyone's waiting for. And hopefully that's where we finally get some real information regarding closed community testing and what comes after it. Until then, all we can really do is wait, watch, and see what happens. At least they're talking. At least they're responding. And honestly, that's more than a lot of developers do these days. Oh, and by the way, if you want to talk about all this stuff, discuss the latest Rell Seas news, or just hang out with the community while we wait, feel free to join the Discord. Link is in the description. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Peace.